everybody, and welcome back to another knitting podcast. This week is also going to be purely knitting. I have not even looked at my sewing machine since Christmas, so pretty knitting heavy. We're just talking about knitting. So thank you for joining me. Grab a drink, grab your project, and let's get started. I'm drinking some leftover coffee from this morning with some oat milk and maple syrup. And we have a new surrounding today because I think the lighting here is so much better than it was downstairs, and also just a nicer background because, as you can tell, I really love green. And that brings us into what I'm wearing, which is also my finished object for this podcast. It does have some creases in it because I have been wearing it quite regularly. This is my Valerie blouse, I believe. Oh no, Valerie Blouse from PetiteKnit, and I really love it. I got so lucky with the yarn because I was really playing yarn chicken, and this is a superwash yarn, and I kind of knew going into it that, okay, it might stretch out a little bit more than just a regular pure wool yarn. And it was teeny tiny when I finished it, when it was off the needles, and it did grow to the perfect size. So it fits good. The sleeves are like just long enough. I wouldn't want them any shorter, but I mean, also just because of the finishing edge, they do roll up a little bit, but they are to my wrists. I used every centimeter of yarn actually, and to finish the last bind off edge on one of the sleeves, I did have to take some yarn. I took maybe 5 centimeters of yarn from somewhere else where there was a tail end of yarn sticking out, and trying to use that to finish the cast off edge. I was really using every single centimeter. So first about the pattern, I've never made something like this before, especially with a wider neckline, which I think is very flattering. Well, you can kind of tell that it's just the totally normal cast on, the edges are kept pretty raw, and I believe you do cast on the back and do some short rows, and then to kind of make up, because the short rows come a little bit to the front here, to make up for that on this side, because this is kind of detached from that main piece, you work your way around, and then before you start this front piece and cast on stitches here in the front, then you also start up here in this little tiny corner and do kind of the remaining short row shaping on this little tiny piece, and then you can add it all together, and there's the the cast on edge for the shoulder, and then it kind of goes into a raglan increases a little deeper into the shoulder, and the whole thing has this diagonal adding stitches and knitting stitches together to create the design. It is a pretty fitted sweater. Oh, okay. So the ease of the sweater is 2 centimeters negative ease, which I didn't want it too tight. So I think I have, I don't know, mine is pretty much 0. I didn't want it really tight to have negative ease. Maybe a little bit on the arms. It has some more negative ease. But personally, I don't like when it's really stretched out. As long as it's, if it's just a plain stockinette, I don't want it to be really pulling, because then I think you can really tell where some areas around the bust area or the shoulders, then it's pulling more, and you can see it in the stitches. and then it just looks like it's not very well fitted. So because I used like a normal yarn and not a mohair, like she also has in the pattern, then I didn't want it really tight. But yeah, I knit it totally to pattern. I tried to knit the length to pattern, but really for the length, I just knit it as long as I could before running out of wool. So that was my only barrier to the pattern. And now let's talk about the yarn. This is on Line or online wool 155 super cool. I've never seen this wool in the shops before, or like online shops. I buy a lot of my wool either from Lint Hobby or sometimes Rito Garn, because they have drops wool and other wools, because I do like to get some drops wool just because it is very cost effective. This wool I actually got from a flea market. It was a Christmas flea market in Germany, and it was €1 a ball, so I thought I'm really gonna get that because I really like the color. And that was kind of when I wasn't first into knitting. I think at that time where I bought this wool, I had been already knitting for like 1.5 years maybe. But I just saw the yarn and I saw the color and I really wanted to get it. I got 7 balls. I believe each ball was 145 meters long. And so I knew that I couldn't make any oversized things, and it took me a really long time. It took me 3 years to find a pattern. No, 3 years not. It took me at least 2.5 years though to actually find a pattern that I wanted to use with this yarn. And I had a really hard time picking something out. Firstly, because I didn't just want to make a tank top, because then I had too much yarn and I just wanted to use it all up for one project. And the other projects that I did like, that were also good for the needle size, for the gauge, they were too oversized, and then I didn't have enough yarn. So this was the perfect project for it. I think if you're having just enough wool where you're not really sure how big of a project you can make, look into getting a blouse pattern rather than a sweater pattern, because blouses, I think, tend to use a little less wool, meterage wise. And then for my buttons, I found a big old Tupperware of like thousands of buttons, not thousands, but hundreds of buttons in our house from the last lady living here. And I just searched through it to find some buttons that kind of looked similar. So they're all a little different, but they're all kind of like a tortoiseshell. Some of them are a little bit more warm tone, some of them are cooler, but you can't really tell. I kind of even them out, or space them out evenly. So it was like warm, cool, so that you wouldn't really notice as much. And I think that's all. So far there's been hardly any pilling, which I'm really surprised because it is a very soft wool. And it has gone through some tests. I did wear this sweater on the weekend when my little baby newborn nephew was here, and I did get to carry, I was happy I got to carry him in the carrier sling thing, and I was wearing this. His head was here, so he was comfortable in the soft side, and I could feel throughout the walk that he was grabbing the sweater, which was cute. But yeah, no signs of wear, other than it kind of is creasing where my creases are. So that's it, but not a big deal. If I was actually going out somewhere nice, then I would just steam it quickly to get rid of some of the creases. It's technically, I'm considering it done and I've worn it around, but I still have some loose ends to weave in. So I gotta finish that, and then it'll be totally done. So then My next project that I started directly after, I mean, technically I had already started it before I finished this. I did a swatch and then I just kind of continued knitting it. And then I was like, no, I need to finish this first. And since I finished this, I've been working on my other project really intensely because I want to get it done to wear on Easter Sunday, which is 5 days away. So we'll see if I get it done. And that is my Lakes pullover, another Lakes pullover. This one is the regular, so round neckline, and it's pink, which is not something that I've made before, not anything this bright. I've never made a sweater this bright before, but I love it so much. It's like, I was inspired by one of my patients. I'm a physiotherapist, and so I'm seeing a lot of people every day. And one of my patients came in and she was just wearing jeans and a pink sweater. And I was like, oh, that's really cute. I need to make myself a pink sweater. And yeah, this is it so far. I've already finished the neckline because it just looks so much better with the neck put in. As a swatch, I didn't really swatch it. I don't think I actually measured it even to see if my gauge was all right. Because I didn't use the same yarn, but I made the Lakes pullover V-neck a few months ago, and the fit in that one is just fine. I think the fit in that one is going to be a little bit tighter than the fit in this, because that one I sized down half a needle size. This one I knit it in the 5mm, which is what she recommends. And so technically this one will be slightly more oversized compared to the other one, which I'm okay with. And I think just in general, I'm like not that strict about gauge or like how loose or whatever a sweater is. Like, I know I'm making an oversized sweater and I know it's going to be oversized just by holding it up. So I'm pretty casual about it. Anyways, I did recently knit the V-neck version of this, and I considered just modifying the pattern that I already had instead of having your V, just figuring out the increase rate and how many stitches to cast on. And then I thought, I don't really want to have to do the math for that. I mean, it's not that much effort, but I thought, I don't know, and maybe it wouldn't look right after. And also, what I love about this sweater compared to other just like round neck pullovers is that this band, like the knitted band, is so thick. And then, because I know the knitted band is thicker, then I also know that the hole for the band is also going to be bigger, like wider than other ones. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to buy this pattern, knit it to pattern, and then there'll be no worries. So that's what I did. And so far I do really like the look of it, and I think I will be making more of these. Actually, this would be a nice pattern to make my husband. I should make him one of these, maybe with like a slightly thinner neckband. I think that's the plan. I'm gonna make him one. Yeah, and so far I'm knitting it totally to pattern. I think the only thing that I changed was here for the neckband. I knit it in 3.5mm and she recommends a 3.75. I don't have quarter millimeter sizes, so I just sized down to have the ribbing as neat as possible. And I believe I did cast on, I can't remember if it was 4 or 6 extra stitches for the neckband, but yeah, I think it looks really good, so I'm happy with that. That was the only thing that I changed so far. And another thing which I'm happy that I did buy the pattern is that she recommends a really stretchy like binding stitch here for folding down the collar. Like it is really stretchy, which is good. I have some other sweaters which you really do just kind of knit together and do a normal cast off edge, and it's a struggle getting over my head, so this is good. Another thing I was really excited about for the sweater is to work with mohair again. It has been so long since I've knit a sweater with mohair, actually. I haven't done that for a while. Last year I think I only knit sweaters, and to get a halo I just used alpaca. But I was just really wanting to make a fluffy mohair sweater. So the yarn that I used for this is all drops. I used Drops Daisy. And this is the color 30, which I believe is strawberry ice cream or something. And then I also used the matching Kid Silk, which I think the Kid Silk is a little bit warmer. Well, hardly, but the Kid Silk is a tiny bit warmer tone than the Daisy, but they blend together just fine. I don't really notice anything. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, we'll see. I have knit with Daisy before, but I haven't knit anything for myself in the Drops Daisy, so I don't know how it pills, but because it has the mohair in it, I'm not really expecting it to pill at all. And yeah, it is, like, it's very soft to the touch, but I did try it on just to see how it looked after I put the collar in. And I mean, it is a tiny bit scratchy on my neck, so we'll see. I'll probably get used to it, but it's not as soft as other yarns, as other mohairs. Or maybe it's as soft as other mohairs, but maybe it's a tiny bit more itchy than other mohairs. But nonetheless, I love it. I just started the body. So today is Tuesday evening. Just got home from work. I have the whole evening to continue the body. And then we'll see if I'll get it done by Easter, because I think this would be adorable for my spring Easter sweater. And for Easter, me and my husband are flying back home to visit my family. So we live in Germany and we're flying back home to Canada. So I have a 10-hour flight on Friday to also work on it. I mean, I could probably get, if I actually worked on it the whole flight, then I could get both sleeves done in the flight, but I'm not going to be able to stay up and work on it the whole flight. So my goal is to get the body done and start one of the sleeves before Friday, and then we'll see. Another funny thing is whenever we fly there, I have such intense jet lag the first few days that I'm usually awake at like 3 in the morning, like the first day when we're like after we get to Canada. And then I always get up at 3 in the morning and I go upstairs and sit on my parents' couch and just like knit for like 3 hours before my dad gets up. And that's what I've been doing like every single time that we go. So I could finish one sleeve on the plane and then finish the other sleeve in the morning after I sleep for a few hours. So that's all the updates that I have for you guys. I do have my cow socks, which I finished half a pattern repeat, but it's not enough to actually show you guys. I'll show you them when one of them is actually ready, but it's kind of getting redundant now. They are taking forever. I'm just like so invested in getting this project done that I haven't worked on them hardly at all. So you'll see those in a later video. But today I do have quite a few acquisitions. I did a little bit of yarn shopping. First off, I wanted to get my pink yarn to make this sweater, and then I thought, well, I'm already ordering stuff. So I kind of want to try something new from Drops, because there's a lot of Drops yarn that I have not tried at all. And I was really curious about their summer yarns. So I got myself some Drops Bell. And this is the color 10. I can't remember what the name is, but it's definitely more sage, more cool toned than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be a warmer green. Oh, so it's called Moss Green. And online it does look a little bit more warm toned. Like you can kind of see compared to this, it's pretty cool, like very, very silvery, cool toned, but that's fine. I mean, I'm not too dramatic about very specific yarn color tones and everything. Like if I knit something out of this, then I'm gonna wear it no matter what. Yeah, so I got this actually I wanted to make a summer top that has a button band and that has wider sleeves or shoulders. I didn't want sleeves, I wanted sleeveless, but with shoulders, not just a tank top. And I was looking at like summer tops that had those things, and it just wasn't giving me the look that I wanted. So then I was looking into vests, and I thought, okay, well, I can make a vest and just change out the yarn to summer yarn, and we're gonna give it a go. So I'm gonna swatch first before I buy the pattern, but my plan with this is to make the Roma vest from Mochi Knits. I'll put up a picture, and I think it's gonna be really cute. So it's an all over slip stitch vest, which I think will give some nice texture because this yarn is already kind of textured. So I think I might do a little swatch in stockinette just to see what it looks like in stockinette, and then do another swatch with slip stitch to see how that looks, because who knows, like maybe this yarn just doesn't look that great in slip stitch, and maybe it doesn't look that great in stockinette. So we gotta see what I like. But I'm really excited for this because I want to make some more summer pieces that I can actually just throw on and that I don't need to think about, and also projects that aren't just a t-shirt, because I think t-shirts I'm just not into. I did make last spring. It was before I started this knitting podcast. Maybe it was 2 years ago. I made the Cloud Tee by PetiteKnit, and I have never worn it. I haven't worn it a single time. I don't know why. I should. Maybe I'll take that with me on my trip to Canada and I'll wear it there. I think I still need to, like, I haven't even blocked it or like put in the edges. What do you call it? I haven't finished the edges on it. Yeah, I was really just I was making it as with the excuse of using up this darn Drops Loves You #7, where I bought a kilo of each color. I was just trying to use up yarn, and that's what I came up with. So we'll see. But what I like about the Mochi vest, and what I like about vests in general as summer projects, is that so many summer knits, you just can't wear them if you have to wear a bra. If you have to wear a bra, then you have to modify the pattern in some way, or your bra straps are out on display, which I just don't like. So I like this because it's got thick straps and then I don't have to think about it, which is exactly what I want. So that's one thing I got. I think I bought 4 balls of this. I bought enough for the pattern. The next thing I got, so that was my online order from Drops. And then a couple weeks ago, we were in Malberg. And Malberg has the Strickverlieb yarn store, which is a really, really nice yarn store. And they have Isager there. I don't know if they always did, but I saw recently that they have Isager. And there has been a specific mohair that I have been dying to get my hands on. And whenever I would look online, they didn't have enough of the dye, like of the color that I needed. And now comes a tiny bit of backstory. Also, like 2 or 3 years ago, I was at this little yarn festival in Germany, and I bought this beautiful hand-dyed yarn from Westerwälde Wollschmiede. I think that's how you say it. But look at this. This is the tag, so you can kind of see the name of the company. Oh, I love it. It has, well, it's a sock yarn. So 75% merino, 25% nylon, and then it has 5% stellina. So that's these, the like shiny bits. So it's kind of shiny, which I think is so fun. And this is way too thin to, I got 3 of these. So I have 1200 meters, which is totally enough to make a sweater, like a big proper sweater. But this is way too thin to knit anything. So for the longest time, I've been looking for a mohair to go with it. And I wanted a dark purple sweater. And I'll put in my inspo picture here with the coloring that I was looking into. And this is also the pattern that I'm planning on making, the twisted loop sweater. I've had the pattern for over a year, but I haven't had the yarn to do it. Or I've had part of the yarn. So anyways, I've had this for a very long time, and I discovered probably a year ago that it works perfectly with the Isager mohair, the color's 36. And that's this really dark, beautiful dark purple. What I love about this is that it's not burgundy, because I don't like burgundy. These together, like this is definitely darker, but this is already variegated. So this will just increase the darker bits on the variegation and kind of darken up the lighter spots. I did knit a little tiny swatch, and it looked good. It looked really good. So I'm very excited. Also because I don't really love a super variegated pattern. Like I love looking at the yarn, but I don't like really variegated yarns when they're knit up. And I think this will mute it out a little bit, so you'll still see some variegation, but it's not going to be crazy. So I did get this, and I got enough to make the pattern, which is important. So I'm very, very excited to cast this on. We'll see when that happens. Because I also got more wool when I was there. And I'm technically considering these stash busting purchases because I've had this wool for so long. So the next thing is I got also Isager. I got Isager Alpaca 1 in just the black. And I wanted this because I have another one of these which is partially used. Like I think I've hardly used any of it. But I do have a little bit of this left over from a different project. It was the Carla cape that I made for my mother. And I decided with this, I am going to try and make the Nightfall tank, Nightfall top. Okay, it's the Nightfall top by Olga Knitwear Design. And I know I just gave a rant about making a summer knitting project where is bra friendly and you don't really have to think about it. This is the opposite because it's a one shoulder top, but it's really cool. And I think it would look really chic in like a black. So I got this black alpaca. I'm hoping it being alpaca that it's not going to be too hot to actually wear. But because it's black, I think this will be a really nice top to have for summer and for winter. Like, I could definitely imagine wearing this in the wintertime. So that's the last thing that I got. So a pretty acquisition heavy podcast today, but sometimes a girl gotta shop. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm gonna be in Canada probably by the time that I get this video uploaded. Like, I'll probably have to work on it for the next few days before we leave. We'll see if I'll try and get it uploaded in the next few days, and then I'll be gone in Canada visiting family for a few weeks. And then when I get back, I'll see if I can make another one. But it's not on the cards for me to go shopping, to go to any yarn stores in Canada. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. If it happens, it happens. But I'm going to try not to buy yarn this time when I'm in Canada. I just bought some yarn and I am very, very much looking forward to casting on some more projects. I'm just very excited about it. But let me know what you think I should do first in terms of summer projects. Should I do the black one shoulder top, or do I do this top? Let me know your thoughts. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.